Mr. Chairman, it is 6:08 p.m. And we are live on YouTube.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and call this April 20th, 2022 Planning and Zoning order at 6:08 p.m. Sure, roll for us, please.
Greg Rice,
He's here.
Here.
Mark Hum,
Here.
Laura Starr, Ed LeBlanc,
Here.
Zay Chomsky Basha, Juan Con. You have a quorum.
All right, thank you. Okay, Pledge of Allegiance. Ed, you want to handle this one for us today? Did that catch you off guard?
Sure. Pledge of allegiance. Okay.
Pledge to the flag of the United States
of America,
to the republic which is
and the nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Any additions, deletions, recording and approval of the agenda tonight?
I think that
It's probably
is.
been there for years.
It's been there for years. It's probably in the template in the database. No, Mr. Chairman, we do not.
Okay. Approval of the minutes. Everybody had a chance to review the minutes who was at the last. Mark, how it look?
Look good. I move to approve the minutes of whatever date it was, April 2nd, 1st,
April 6th.
6th meeting.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
All right. Discussion on it? We're good. All right, all those in favor, say aye. Against? Okay, cases. Swearing in of staff and applicants.
So if you plan to give testimony this evening, please stand and raise your right hand. If you plan on speaking, you must be sworn in. You swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. If so, say yes. Thank you.
Publication, Mark, how it look? Perfect. Good. All right, withdrawal. Any consent items? Public hearings, any board disclosures this evening?
You Erwin?
I am.
I'm Mark.
I'm Mark.
We've dealt with each other on a couple different projects, but not on this. And I never even, I wasn't sure that was you.
Yes, how are you, Mark? This
Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you. Fine.
All right, any other pleasantries? Good. Okay, so moving right along, new business, I'm sorry, unfinished business, there being none. New business, PZB project number 20-005-00007. Consideration of a conditional use permit request to establish an import-export use with accessory outdoor storage in the Industrial Park of Commerce zoning district at 1936 7th Court North. The request is to establish a proposed 1,800 square foot use within the current industrial building. The project's being processed concurrently with a minor site plan amendment to address parking and screening in the proposed outdoor storage area.
Okay, thank you. I think it was
No. We may have forgotten the batteries, Scott.
okay.
We have to bring our own batteries.
All right, I'll just have to speak a little louder. Good evening, for the record, Scott Rodriguez with planning and zoning staff. Let's see if this works.
No,
Doesn't appear to.
okay,
Anybody know sign language?
did it.
Okay, the item before you is the export connection request for consideration of conditional use permit for 1,800 square foot import-export use with accessory outdoor storage at 1936 7th Court North. The subject site is located on the southwest corner of Detroit Street and 7th Court North and is within the Industrial Park of Commerce zoning district. The zoning map, thank you. Zoning map showing the subject site generally surrounded by adjacent parcels. that also had an IPOC, Industrial Park of Commerce, zoning district designation with compatible industrial uses. Site plan is showing additional site improvements, and if you go to the next slide, Aaron, thank you. This is a zoomed in version of that site plan where the use is going to be contained in 1,800 square foot for this crosshatch. And the parking area is shown on the site plan, which is being addressed by the current minor site plan, which is focusing on issues related to code enforcement for parking and storage of inoperable vehicles and unlisted vehicles. Move on to the next slide. Project is consistent with the comprehensive plan, strategic plan, city's LDRs, and all conditional use requirements. Staff is recommending approval with conditions. There's only pages 5 and 6 of the staff report.
You. Yeah, would like to come up and speak. Sure. You would state your name and address for the record, please.
Urban Estate, I'm with TI Architecture, 1100 South Federal Highway, Suite 2, Florida. I'm here just to address any questions, anything that Scott hasn't addressed relative to. I'm not sure if I have any questions. I don't really have anything to present. I think it's a very simple. Yeah, it's
Sure.
it's very simple.
Straightforward. Let's start with Laura.
Oh, okay, so you're the applicant, but she's the applicant.
Well, no, I'm wrong.
Laura, did you want to start?
I was just confused when you said he's the applicant.
Okay.
So it says that she's the applicant.
Yeah, I guess I jumped the gun.
Then, Ed, what questions do you have? The applicant or staff? Bring back to you.
Yeah.
All right, let's look for that. I'll take a couple. Looks like we're correcting some items that are not in compliance at the moment. Can you guys just elaborate on that a little bit? I think just which ones that were.
The parking really is the biggest issue. So originally the code enforcement division citation for 2019 for inactive business license and also for the parking situation. They apparently addressed those, cases closed, and then COVID, and then change of ownership. So back in 2021, these items have been picked up again to be addressed. And that's what the minor site plan is for, to address the site elements. Permits for the use itself of accessory outdoor storage.
Basically, they were parking unlicensed vehicles in the parking spaces. They're overparked. So they're converting some of their parking spaces to outdoor storage and screening them. Because the outdoor storage has to be screened, so they can't make it outdoor storage and not screen the parking area, because then it's outdoor storage. So they kept getting cited for unlicensed vehicles.
And outdoor storage is allowed in IPOC as long as it is screened right away. Which they're addressing through the minor site plan.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification.
Hrpb.
Anthony,
Greg?
could I speak for a second? Aaron, how long has this particular business been operating with an invalid license or no, not an active license? If this code case has been going on since 20.
Well, since then, Greg, but we couldn't issue them a business license because they were in process for their conditional use. And there was some confusion by the applicant. I mean, they got stuck in processing because they did not realize we were talking apples and oranges. We kept saying they needed a minor site plan amendment. So we were not, their communication wasn't clear with them on what they actually, that they didn't understand what they needed. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
And so this has been going for almost 2 years now?
Well, not the application itself, but the code
Well,
violation.
like the violation, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Has
So
there been a
this
fine?
Well, what
Is there-
happened is they got cited and then the ownership changed. So they cleared the code case because the new owner was going to work with staff. And then there was a moratorium in COVID, and then we got an application in, and you can see the project number is 20. So they came in 20. And,
Right.
there was some time in process where we were waiting for things. And so they got everything cleaned up. And they need to move forward with this, otherwise they're going to start getting fines.
Okay. So there's not a running fine right now. Okay.
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. That's all I have, Anthony.
All right. Thank
Call
you.
for the vote.
Moving back along, Laura.
Is there a retail aspect to this?
The business basically is straightforward. So essentially, they get vehicles from other states and the state, they prep them, put them on a paper. Some of them, some are. Well, that's a good question. I can't answer to exactly what they need to do, but the owners of the.
We need to get her sworn in. She
Yeah.
won't testify. Yeah. So can we swear her in, please?
Sure. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you will give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So say yes. Thank you.
On it, would you please state your name and address for the record?
Yeah.
Business or personal address.
Business.
1936 South Court North, Lakewood, Florida, 33461. We are a licensed freight forwarder and we export vehicles to basically Europe. These are vehicles that people abroad have purchased, so they're the actual owners. By Florida law and actually United States law, the minute that purchase is taking place, they no longer have tax. So when you sell your car, you have to take the tag off of it. They don't have to be registered by the new owners because those new owners are abroad. So by law, technically, we cannot take them in possession and keep the license plates. Those license plates have to be returned to the owner. They are processed in U.S. Customs, exported from the so all cars are owned by private outside of the United States. So no retail aspect of this. No. Slow season, we probably have 5 or 6 on the season. Yes, busy season.
There is a condition of approval for a class 3 vehicle or less, which is a 4-tire single unit vehicle. So 2-axle or 6-tire single units are not included, or would be not eligible to be freight forwarded. So I want to make sure that you were aware of that condition that we put forward, because you said it was mostly cars. You said we were doing cars, not trucks, not like box trucks and tow trucks.
No.
So you
Those
just
are
do
usually
cars.
roll, they don't go into containers, those are usually exported out of Jacksonville, they're not.
Right.
they're too big.
So it's limited to passenger cars or like a regular pickup truck, like a F-150 under 8,000 pounds per weight.
So who arranges to bring them to your facility, private owners? No. Have to get the people in the country. Yes, the seller or whoever is the buyer, this is one who bought it directly, they can contact us and ask us to please have it moved, if the car is in St. Tennessee. Contact, you have to check and see who really owns it. Oh, I remember. Because everything has to go through the absolutely. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. It all has to. How many years of checks usually will be insured? And US Customs does. The right lead, the one percent. Yes, yeah.
Anyone else with it? Ed, thing?
No, I don't know.
All right. It seems like pretty straightforward cleanup and procedure. Any members of the public like to comment?
No emails or mails come in, Sherry?
No public comment was received, Greg.
Good, thank you.
All right, with that, I'll entertain a motion. Like to make one.
Come on, Mark.
I move to approve PCB project number 20-005-00007 with staff recommended conditions for conditional use permit request to establish an import-export use with accessory outdoor storage in the industrial park of commerce zoning district located at 1936 7th Court North, based upon the competent and substantial evidence provided in the staff report and in the testimony at the public hearing.
All right, we got a motion on the floor. How about a second?
I'll second.
All right, a second from Ed.
Anthony. Aaron, how much time will it take after we approve or disapprove tonight to be able to have them up and running legally?
So they still are in process for their minor site plan. So as a condition of approval, this conditional use will not be effective until they finish up their minor site plan, which I believe is close to being done or almost done. So as soon as they do their minor site plan, they have to complete the work, and then they will be issued a business license based on the complete work. So we won't give them a business license until they do the landscaping installation and screening of the outdoor storage area. So they have,
Go ahead, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
so they have to comply with the site plan requirements to screen the outdoor storage area before we'll issue them a business license. And then because then vest their use if they haven't done the site improvements that they're required to do for the use approval. So it depends on them, Greg. I mean, honestly.
Can we set up a time? Could we see these folks again in
Well,
2
the
months?
special magistrate will set up a time.
Okay.
That's the ball is in their court. That's what
Okay.
enforcement does. So
I just think this has gone on long enough. Let's try to get this over with. And let's move on to getting the Gulf Stream finished.
motivated to wrap it up.
Good. Go ahead, Anthony. Sorry.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? All right, unanimous.
Thank you.
All right, planning issues. Come up in the past 2 weeks.
Well,
Yeah, what have you guys been doing all this time that we haven't been meeting?
so I'll combine planning issues and department reports if the chair finds that acceptable.
Why don't you do that?
Okay. So basically, I'm sure you all have heard that the Gulfstream renderings are available online on the city's webpage. So the city has a webpage devoted to the Gulfstream project. It's on a banner on the homepage. You can click on it and access the renderings for that project. We have scheduled a special meeting for April 27th. So staff is in it to win it this month with 4 consecutive public hearings. So we have not received a notice of an affected party requesting postponement. An affected party has until Friday to register. So we believe we're going to have the hearing next Wednesday, but we won't know for sure. It would just depend on if an affected party registers and if the affected party requests a continuance. So the staff reports will be available online tomorrow, and anybody can go and take a look at pictures right now. So
Friday at what time, Aaron?
it's close of business, Greg. So, or at the end of the day, it's a day thing. So if we come back in on Monday, they
Okay.
could, it's close of business Friday. So, and we do it by email. So it's date stamped. They have to send an
Right.
email. So
Good.
it's all we got it set up. As you guys have seen, we've done a couple of these with affected parties now that have come through your shop. So we're good. And so that's something to look into. If you know somebody who'd like to send a public comment in but is not available to attend the meeting, they can email pzoning@lakeworthbeachfl.gov fl.gov, or they can email historicpreservation@lakeworthbeachfl.gov. Both of those emails are on the historic preservation page and on the planning and zoning page, so they can email either one of those with their public comment. We're going to be compiling public comment. We've only received 2 public comments so far, both in support of the project at this time. So that's it.
In the event, Aaron, that we don't get any affected parties or what have you, by the close of business on this Friday being 3 days from now.
Right.
Will the Hrpb folks be at that meeting on Wednesday night?
Well, only if we have a meeting, because that's the only thing on the meeting. So
Okay, so-
we don't have if that item gets continued, they'll have to come in and formally continue it. But so we'll have a 2-minute meeting to continue the item. So.
We've done that too. Okay.
Yeah,
Just wanted to know what the procedure was. Thank you very much.
you're welcome. You're welcome.
I'm,
Steve.
I'm sure you guys have been working diligently on this, and let's hope we get this thing over the goal line.
Yeah, I think there's about almost 50 pages of staff analysis and then like probably 75 plus pages and attachments. So it's a robust project. So I wanted to also mention as well, I believe it's May 18th, there was a joint workshop from the charrette. We mentioned it before, you guys have RSVP'd, but just as a reminder. And then finally, I believe, Sherry, were you able to send the email out? We do not have a May meeting. We haven't, we don't have any items that have qualified to meet the advertising deadline. They're not complete for your review yet. So we will have probably a bigger meeting in June though. Okay.
So May is a coast month for you guys.
Yeah, well, sure. We'll say it like that.
There you go. That's the spirit. I love your enthusiasm, Aaron. Always have.
So that's it. That's my story.
Okay.
And she's sticking to it. Okay.
I will be so bold as to predict there are no public comments. No public.
All your crowd left, Anthony. Look around.
Are you for board member comments? What do you have for us?
I have nothing. I'm here to hear Mark's comments.
Anybody else? All right. There being no other business, we'll adjourn this meeting at 6:30.